To see your face, have to see your face.
Number 10. Seritsukai no Blade Dance. Seritsukai no Blade Dance takes place at a very prestigious school for holy shrine princesses called Ariashia Spirit Academy. At this school, the girls train to be elementalists and try to form slave contracts with spirits so that they can compete in battles against one another. Only females have this privilege, at least until now. Kumito Kazuhaya is a normal guy in pretty much all respects except for the fact that he's the first man in 1,000 years to be able to form a contract with a spirit which he stole from a shrine princess named Claire Rouge. Additionally, the headmaster of the school, Greeworth, has summoned him to enroll and is forcing him to participate in a special tournament that will take place 2 months down the road. With Claire demanding that he become her contracted spirit, will Kumito even manage to survive the entire 2-mon? THS until the tournament takes place. Number 9. Kono Naka ni Hattori, Imuoto ga Iru. Is insanity hereditary? Shugo Mikadono's beginning to think so, because the terms of his late fathers will seem crazy and following them may drive Shugo bonkers as well. Oh, it sounds simple at first. Before Shugo can claim his very large inheritance, he just has to start attending a certain new school and find a nice girl to marry. It's a little unromantic, but perfectly doable, right? After all the girls seem quite friendly, so all Shugo has to do is find any he has something in common with. Except, and here's the kicker, it turns out that Shugo has way too much in common with one of them, because she's actually his long-lost sister and he has no idea which one she is. Will Shugo meet and court his Miss Right without committing something very morally wrong? Can he find his future bride without slipping into the wrong set of jeans? And if his little sister does reveal herself, just how much will be revealed and under what circumstances? Number 8. Sekirei. Struggling yet brilliant teenager Minato Sahashi has failed his college entrance exams for the second time, resulting in him being regarded as worthless by those around him. However, the course of his seemingly bleak future is altered dramatically when a beautiful, supernatural woman falls from the sky and into his life. That woman, Musubi, is a unique being known as a Sekirei, a humanoid extraterrestrial with extraordinary abilities. These aliens are known for kissing humans carrying the Ashikabi gene in order to awaken additional latent powers deep within. Recognizing the potential within the seemingly insignificant youth, Musubi kisses the bewildered Minato, initiating a bond between the two of them. This drags him into the high-stakes world of the Sekirei, where he and his new partner must compete against others in a battle for survival called the Sekirei Plan. However, unbeknownst to the contestants, there is far more at risk than what the competition initially entailed. Number 7. Hoshitsuru Kakaru Hashi. Kazuma Hashino is preparing himself for a new stage of his life as a teenager. Because of his brother Ayumu's weaker than average health, the parents thought it best for the family to move out from the city to a more rural environment. Now the two brothers are off to the Yorazuyo Inn where they'll be staying until the parents can settle affairs back in the city and set up the new home. Their arrival to the inn doesn't go as planned though. When they catch the wrong bus, wind up in the middle of nowhere, Ayumu gets his hat stolen by a wild monkey, and Kazuma gets lost in the woods trying to track the animal down. It all leads to a chance encounter with a spirited young girl named Ui, who Kazuma ends up accidentally falling onto and kissing while she tries leading him back to the bus stop. This hardly sits well with Ui's friend Ibuki, who swiftly kicks Kazuma and sends him on his way. Much to Kazuma's continued horror, his bad luck is perpetuated at the inn thanks to its landlady Senka and her slightly perverted sense of humor, and then finding out that 2 of his classmates are the Gi. RLS he embarrassed himself in front of back in the woods. Hoshitsuru Kakaru Hashi finds Kazuma adapting to his new school, dealing with the multiple women who have entered his life, providing emotional support for his younger brother, and coping with living with his new landlady. However, for some reason, something about this place is bringing whispers of the past into Kazuma's mind. Small flashes back to a more innocent time and a friendship long forgotten. What could this deja vu mean? Number 6. Maken Ki. Based on the manga series by Hiromitsu Takeda, this romantic comedy is about Takeru Oyama, a typical perverted teenage boy. His new school doesn't require entrance exams, and it just turned co-ed. Unfortunately, his dreams of a happy high school life are dashed when he finds out the school is much more than it seems. All of the students wield a special item Maken to unleash their magical abilities in duels. Can Takeru find a Maken that works for him? Even while trying to fit in at a new school and dealing with all kinds of girl problems. Number 5. Oniichan Dakedo Isa Iari Bakankenai. After 6 years of living separately, brother and sister Akiko and Akito Himanokoji are finally reunited. The two used to be quite close, until the parents died and they were sent to live with separate foster families. Now the two can live together and go to the same school as brother and extremely loving sister. It doesn't take long before it becomes abundantly clear that Akiko has a huge brother complex. Unfortunately for Akiko, her brother only sees her as a little sister he must protect. But that won't stop her from trying to win her brother's affections. Things are only complicated when more girls move in with the siblings, making Akiko even more determined than ever to keep her brother's eyes only on her. That's tough to do with other girls flaunting their swimsuit-clad bodies at Akito, fighting over who gets to take care of him, and otherwise meddling in Akiko's plans for her brother. This is going to be one fun household. Number 4. Outbreak Company. Shinichi Kano is a shut-in otaku with a vast knowledge of anime, manga, and video games. One day, after applying for a job in hopes of escaping his secluded lifestyle, he is kidnapped and transported to the Eldent Empire, a fantasy world filled with elves, dragons, and DWAR. Beth. Trapped in this strange land, Shinichi is given an unlikely task by the Japanese government, to spread otaku culture across the realm by becoming an otaku missionary. To accomplish his mission, Shinichi has the full support of the Japanese government, as well as the half-elf maid Mayusaland, Princess Petralka of the Eldent Empire. Together with this ragtag bunch, he will overcome the obstacles of politics, social classes, and ethnic discrimination to promote the ways of the otaku in this holy land. Number 3. Uragi Su no Yuna-san. Fuyuzora Kogarashi has the ability to see supernatural, and has been possessed by ghosts since he was a kid. This has caused a lot of trouble in his life, but now he has learned to fight back against the evil spirits. Unfortunately, he's now also very poor, homeless, and hoping for a happier, more normal, high school life. In his search for housing, he's introduced to a very cheap boarding house called Uragi Manor, which was formerly a popular hot springs inn. It's so cheap because the house is haunted by the spirit of a high school student whose corpse was found there. Kogarashi doesn't think this is going to be a problem for him, and the rest of the house's tenants appear to be sexy women. While relaxing in the hot springs, though, he finds there is an issue with his ghost vanishing plan. Uragi Manor's ghost is a 16-year-old girl named Yuna, who lives in his room. Kogarashi has no desire to hurt a ghost girl, and instead he ends up agreeing to help her to figure out her unfinished business. That way, she can move on to the afterlife before turning evil and falling into hell. Once it is clear that he is fine with Yuna, the other tenants reveal their own supernatural secrets. His life in Uragi Manor is going to be far from ordinary. Number 2. Papa no Aokoto wo Kikinasai. Segawa Yuta is a freshman of a university. He lost his parents when he was small and was raised by his sister Yuri. Yuta has been living alone since Yuri got married to a middle-aged man when Yuta was a junior high student. One day, Yuri visited Yuta's apartment and asked him to take care of her 3 daughters while Yuri and her husband were on a trip. He unwillingly accepted the job, but the plane Yuri took went missing. In order to prevent the daughters from being adopted separately by relatives, Yuta decided to take in all 3 girls. A life of a strange family in a tiny apartment begins. Number 1. Monster Masumi no Iru Nikiju. With his parents abroad, Kimihito Kurusu lived a quiet, unremarkable life alone until monster girls came crowding in. This alternate reality presents cutting-edge Japan, the first country to promote the integration of non-human species into society. After the incompetence of interspecies exchange coordinator Agent Smith leaves Kimihito as the homestay caretaker of a lamia named MIIA, the newly minted darling quickly attracts girls of various breeds, resulting in an ever-growing harem flush with eroticism and attraction. Unfortunately for him and the ladies, sexual interactions between species is forbidden by the Interspecies Exchange Act. The only loophole is through an experimental marriage provision. Kimihito's life becomes fraught with an abundance of creature-specific caveats and sensitive interspecies lore as passionate, affectionate, and lusty women hound his every move, seeking his romantic and sexual affections. With new species often appearing and events materializing out of thin air, where Kimihito and his harem go is anyone's guess.